right, let's see if we can get started. Let's lower this a little bit. Right, Sunday morning, and I got my coffee and I got everything I need for now, at least for now. And the agenda for today is very straightforward. I have two small projects that I'm working on. Both are in React and a little bit of Rails. And the UT61, good morning, how you doing? So I'm gonna continue to do that. I have a little bit of issues on the Flexcose project, and the KCSC project is just a small thing. Perhaps we can add some styling. Right, so we could just rewrite this, add styling to search functionality. It's just about displaying the results in a different way, but I'm gonna focus on Flexcose. Doing fine, trying to get rid of unnecessary renders, right, of course. Could be a bit problematic. It depends on how you update and when you update your state. Keep it as clean as possible, that's important. Bad news, yesterday that stunt that a little sucker pulled on me in terms of sending a link to a pornographic image rendered me a warning with Twitch. Unfortunately, even though it was unintentional, that's the way it is. But on the bright side, we had a great co-study session last night with the Work the Web training program at Agile Ventures, and I know that Anya streamed it. Yeah, it's not a bad. I know. But so we did. This is the Slack channel, Work the Web 2021, and I know that Anya streamed this thing yesterday. So let's see. There it is. Right. So we're gonna try to have Anya download that VOD for us, so we can upload it to YouTube and share it on the Agile Ventures website together with everything else that we do. So that's good. That's really good. I'm very glad about that. I don't know, UT, are you following that those sessions? Not sure I've seen you there, but if you don't, you could. It's interesting, even though we cover a lot of things that you probably already know, but there is some other stuff that or could be new to you, so right, let's get into coding. Let's go into coding. So this is the Flexcose client. I understand there's a lot of stuff going on sometimes. Right. There is optional locations. Click. Let's just get rid of this. Right. What's going on here? Let's do git status here. Git diff. So here, payload. Show. Right, so I just so we can just stash this. Git stash. Right. Right on. So let's just do yarn Cypress. Right, and that was notice the kitchen sink. Jesus. Right, so we need to go into Flexcose API. That was what I needed to do. I remember now. Git the status. Right. Git. Git remote -v. Just check that we have production. Hello, thank you for the follow. I have no clue what WASM is, Ravi 387. No clue. Right. But welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Right. So I probably want to WebAssembly. Yeah, I don't know much about which library is easy. Vue, React, Angular. It's a matter of taste, I would say. It's a matter of taste. Let's see, Heroku run. No, Heroku logs. Yeah, I just wanted to like the logs and remote production. Right. So here are the logs, and we had process exited with one. Right. So let's make this a little smaller. Booting from the process exited with status. Well, what does that mean? It means that it was then there is right. Let's just check the status code on Heroku. Service status 1/3. So process exit means the process was terminated with seek time. This is generally sent when you do any commands that require you done is the reason. Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't so hard. Let's see. Now, if I run my tests on this one. Let's see if we are actually hitting that service somehow or not, because I think that there is a problem in our code that actually hits the real server somehow, but I'm not sure if it does or not. It does not, or does it? We don't know that. Where's my Slack? Nothing in Slack yet, which is good, because you see there's in this particular feature, when we are submitting, so the feature is about submitting a form, which is nothing extraordinary, but there is an integration, a Slack integration, that when a form is submitted in tests, on the staging servers, when we just run this in pre-production, we're actually making a call to a webhook, right? And as you can see, there's a lot of calls here with the same email address, because these are instances of this of these forms being submitted in test environment. And this is of course a flaw, because you shouldn't be hitting real services. So I'm kind of looking at this thing to see if this shows up on Slack or not, and that's why I was looking into this this server here, whether this was actually being hit in our test environment, but apparently it wasn't, and so that's good, I guess. All right. Right. So let's have a look at these tests again. Let's make this smaller, and let's start from the top. So we are intercepting this route. This is the wrong file, by the way. So let's close this. User can submit. This is the one. Right, so we're stubbing this out. Thank you for your inquiry. Not sure why this is. Why we are doing this here, but we are hitting the root path. We are clicking on the rent out office button, which is, I assume, this one, rent out office, rent out. Right, not sure if this is the right text we want. Language wrapped out, click svenska. Expected to submit is expected to be successful. Right. User can submit inquiry to rent out offices with Flexcode in Swedish. Yeah, so we're going to say in Swedish here, because we are checking this one. So I'm just gonna go before. So we just do. Can we just do before? No, before. Do we have to do? Yeah, we can do before each. Right, and then I can just move this language selector to a before, because it's not really part of the stuff, but we want to save that, I guess. Right, so we only have one. What the fuck? Are you shitting me? Right, oh, okay. So we probably need to create a new one, describe in English. Right, so we want this to be moved down here, and we just want to do the same thing here. English, not sure. I mean, it's probably the default language. Right, let's see what if we're running into some errors or not. Thank you for your inquiry. Right. Right. Submit form is expected to submit form, right? And save success message, right? Which means that we can say the same thing here, right? User can submit inquiry with Flexcose in Swedish and English, right? Okay, so that's okay. That works. Not bad. And apparently we are not hitting the backend service, so we can just get the fuck out of Dodge. And this one, good stuff. Now there was something with the form itself. Who can we contact today? So this is a bit weird, right? Location. Right. Why would the email be? Why would email be? How can we contact you? Right. Who can we contact then? Kirsten37, thank you for the follow. Nice to have you. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Why would this be? How can we contact it? Why would that be? Right, so let's go to source locales and then email. Where can we reach you? That's a very weird question for collecting an email. Right, I'm just gonna create another one. Get email. Get email. Can we have your email? Can we have your email address? Right. So we're gonna do the same thing here. And then the Swedish for din mail address. mail address. That was the, yeah, I think. Code for the mail address, get email, right. Oh, okay, so we're using camel case here. So we're gonna change that to get email. Right, okay. Let's try that. Let's try that, get email, and then if we're gonna go to inquiry and then office inquiry, please. Inquiry location. No, that's not it. Rent out phone, there it is. Right. Extra text. So name, rent out questions, phone, location. Why would it be a location? Oh, hi, Rune. Hi. Well, thank you for the follow. Were you getting ads? Okay. It happens. Right. Rent out questions text. Right. Rent out questions text. Rent out questions. Where is the rent out questions? What? Rent out. Oh, there it is. Location. Okay. Okay, so there it is. So we don't want that. The change that I just added. Right, so let's just get rid of that. So we're just gonna call this one email actually. And we probably don't need this location. Why would this location be? How can I, yeah. Yes. Right, so get rid of that, and then we have this. Right, not sure I understand. Email, right, so in this one, right, so we just want to change that to email. Right, multi-line false, data key email, right. Just get done spending 14 hours trying to figure out why my new PI would not allow a web page to load in a small Linux install. Right, that's a lot of time debugging page load. And when you say my new PI, do you mean a Raspberry Pi or like the small computers, or do you elaborate on that? But I feel sorry for 14 hours not well spent. Did you figure it out, by the way? Can we have your email address? Right, and then we're just gonna say, where can we reach you? Where can we? Right, user can send inquiry from where can we reach? Right, should contain. Can we have your right? That's a problem. And then in the right, can we have your? Right. I installed Fedora on it. Apparently Fedora gets really picky where Apache reads its files from. Like, okay, standard permission are not enough. You have to set an execution continuous. So you were setting up an Apache server on your PI, or were you using your PI to access a service? Interesting. You have to set an execution continuous. Okay. Right. So let's see. Can we forward the email address? Right. So we're just gonna copy that one, and we go over to this one. Right. Can we put the email address? Then we go and let's see if we can run this show. Right, so that worked. Why can't I? Okay. Yeah, so setting up was a dev environment, was creating a new Laravel app. Whoa. And I couldn't figure out why the Apache keeps saying it didn't have permission to read the HC access with all the normal Linux permissions. Okay, well, that's a lesson that was hard learned. Never heard about that issue, of course, but do you think that's a Fedora problem per se, or is it a Linux problem, or is it an Apache problem, or Laravel problem? It's interesting. Let's see if we can just run this through. Right. Thank you for your inquiry. Right, the problem is that it doesn't really reply with thank you for your inquiry. Right, it replies to thank you for, well, it does thank you for your inquiry, but not we will be in touch soon, which is weird. Let's figure out where that is happening. Rent out form. Right. Set redirects that form data. Right. Right. I am not particularly fond of this function. Right, so this one I will just right, so I will just say handle submit. So this is better to call that handle submit and just rename that. Right. And also this one, inquiry sent to HubSpot. Right. I'm not very fond of this send to HubSpot name. Set redirect to true. Not really. This is also weird. It feels so random. But okay, let's see what the RuneSphinx has to say. Mostly, I mean, technically, any distro with SE Linux policies go through the same thing. Linux is a file system watchdog. Anything that touches files outside a normal context, like if I'm not using the right. and I am insert symlinking. Okay, so alright, from an external drive, it just jumps in even if the user permission and denies access. I guess it's a security issue, but why would you? Is that because of storage limitations? Like you would like to use an external drive to host your... Okay, so perhaps you do like development on one drive or somewhere, and you want to serve those files, or is that what's happening? But isn't there like yeah, but just out of curiosity, is that for so is that for development or for actually hosting it somewhere, like going to production on that PI? That would be interesting to know. Anyway, I will be right back. I just need to fill up my my coffee mug. Yeah, okay, I got you. Right, be right back. Hello Koyo, thank you for the follow. Rune Sphinx, setting up a home server. Okay, I got you. So did it work? I mean, did it work out for you to symlink, or do you have to expand your storage in the end? Right. Inquiry sent to HubSpot. Right. That's really not cool, because so we have the problem with this module, inquiries module, is that both of these things, like the create action, which is kind of restful, and I like that, and this send to HubSpot action, they are pretty much the same thing. There's some heavy code repetition. Right, so that Rune Sphinx, great that you found it. That Linux command doesn't do much for me. Chcon R because of HTTP sys RV content. Oh shit, that sounds like I would have to look it up. But glad that you found it. I'm not that heavy into Linux personally. But I'm now I know that is possible, so that's good for you. Right. So anyway, both these methods are totally the same, and right, so what if we just say what if we say that gives Linux the info it needs to allow Apache to read from directories other than you then pass that after command. Anyways, I'm jumping in late to the stream. No, it isn't that late, that's all good. We are I'm doing a little bit of refactoring on a potential client project. that we originally built. So let's see, let's switch this. Yeah, so this is like it's a React client that uses an API that we built to collect interest forms from people who are interested in renting office spaces. And this is a client project. So the idea is that this company collaborate with a lot of co-working space providers, co-working spaces, co-working office space. Yeah, anyway, and it kind of allows people to submit interest forms, and then a broker from that company looks for the best possible solution in this particular city, Gothenburg in this case, right? So the feature that we're adding today is that if you have an office that you want to rent out, then you should be able to submit a form to us, just saying that, hey guys, I have an office that I would like to have people to rent spaces in, and send that off. And that is basically what I'm doing. And it's a pretty simple feature, not much to it. But since it's a new form, and this wizard here that we have on the first page, which is apparently not even working properly at this point, that is also a form. And so we are handling that in this module, and we just do a create action and we send that off to the backend, right? And the new form is also sent to the backend to the same path, but with slightly different settings. The only difference here is the submit message and the tracker, because we're tracking some stuff, right? And it feels like I should be able to bundle them together, because otherwise it's unnecessary code repetition. So I just want to say, I don't know, I want to use this create action, but I want to condition certain things. So why don't I just say create, and then could I just say type or something? Form type form. Well, actually, we could say we could use this in form data. Try right payload. So form data type equals office, for instance, or I don't know. Then we just use this. Otherwise we use that. So I'm just going to add an attribute that is called type here, and then here consent this it is. Right, so that's the next. Right, so we could just do this again, I guess. This looks weird though. Can I do this? For ternary operators, can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. Last I haven't seen the last modified info. last modified info. Oh, you mean the grayed out pop-up of the that shows up on the side? Who wrote the code? That is I don't know. I forgot. There it is. Okay, no, that's shit. Which one is it? It could be this git lens. Feature which needs to use git lens. No, that's not git lens. It must be this one. Source control. Or which one is it? Shit, can't remember. So let's see. View installed, just the installed ones. I have quite a few of them installed. Right. So Git file history, Git history. Yeah, it's Git history. Yes, view the history of a line in the file. Get Git blank. Right. So that would be Git history. Git history. Yeah. No, it's very. I mean, if you work collaboratively, then that's definitely a very nice feature. I totally agree. I've had it for a long time, so that's why I kind of forgot where I got it from. Right. So let's see. We can comment this guy out for a second, and we go to this guy, and we just go office provider. Oh, it says office provider. All right, so then we could just change that instead. That's much better. It already deals with that. If from office provider, then we can simplify this a little bit. And then we can just use this, and here, where's the handle submit? Right, so we just do create here instead of anything else, and we run our test and see if we fucked anything up. Well, we did fuck something up. Yeah, we did fuck something up because we are not displaying the success message. Okay, so let's put it back to the drawing board. Right. Form data office provider. Right, so we're just gonna have to set the debugger okay here. Right. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? So I'm refactoring this stuff, guys. I didn't write this. There we go. Right, so what if I just do this? Oh my god. What's the warnings? We need to fix that before we... A18 is not defined. What? now I will just get the T's notified. Right. Right. Okay, so right, so what if we should just copy this? Well, actually we can X this and we can say const action equals this, and then we just dispatch action, and we set the debugger down here. Right, and then we just go here and we say this, that we only want to run this guy. There's no need to run the whole thing. Oh, no, fuck it. There we go, and we have action. Let's have a look at action. Yeah, why would he say tack för förfrågan? Set submit message. Well, did we? And form. Let's have a look at form data. Form data. Office provider true, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's right, that's true, right. Okay, so why wouldn't this guy right. Okay, so let's step forward, and then we just, what is the error? What's the error? Can't want to React say that bigger. Right. We can't make an update on. But we don't want to make an update on this one, to be honest. Can't perform a React state update in null mode. I know that. Cancel all subscriptions including the user for cleanup function. Right. Oh. Thank you, LJ, for a raid. How are you doing? Long time no see. Did you have a nice stream today? I popped in for a few minutes to watch you code on that. You're making a game, React, right? I didn't have a chance to follow your streams for a long while, but I did pop in for a short while before I got online myself. Good stuff. welcome everyone that follows ljtech.ca. I am also doing a little bit of React stuff, trying to get to terms in refactoring a feature that is a bit messy for me at this point. I'm doing fine. I'm working away, running my my company, my courses, also trying to learn new stuff as I move forward. It's always a challenge, and I work on some customer projects, which is kind of this thing that I'm doing now. So I'm into testing, as you know. So I'm using Cypress, and again, I didn't write this code myself. Some guys in my team did, and I am just doing a little bit of refactoring. And I just noticed that even though most of the functionality is working, I get shitloads of red stuff in my console, a lot of warning. And so I need to get rid of that, of course, before we merge this. And now, in my effort to kind of make it's a lot of red, I know. I mean, apparently it's not that red that it's breaking anything, but still 11 errors is 11 errors. That's a significant amount of shit. But anyway, I need to get a flash up, a success message up on screen. We just had that before, but now we don't, and that pisses me off a little bit. So I'm just trying to figure out what the difference here is. It access params, action sets. Oh, it should be set success message, submit message, success message. Okay. Is that your favorite color? Right. Oh, I can just hack this really quickly. Just say this, and then we just do set success. It still won't be the best solution, but we can get this to work at least. Right, so we can remove the debugger. The test should go green, probably. Right. So we're good to go on that one. I can remove that. But the problem is, we're using Redux in this project. So it's a bit of perhaps a bit hacky. I don't know what your opinion is on this. We extract the actual calls to the API into a module, or like a service file, and I'm accessing the Redux store from this JavaScript file instead of just from a component, and I'm modifying that. So I'm making a call to the backend, and depending on what sort of request we are doing and what we get back, we are modifying the store itself. What extension do you use for all those other colors in your code? All my code is red. Really? Like literally red? Like red? And you mean like the color coding here, like the store is blue and dispatch is yellow, for instance, yellow? What would that be in terms of extension? I don't know. it's okay, come on. No, it wasn't that bad of a joke. I got a bad joke yesterday. That was really okay. I don't mind that. But yesterday, this guy just, he followed my stream and he asked a question about Node.js. The question wasn't bad in any way. He was like something about accessing a route or whatever, or, Express.js question. And he sent a link, claiming it was, or make me believe it was a screenshot. And so, uncareful as I am, I just clicked the fucking thing. And it was this, hardcore pornographic image that came up on that very screen that I was sharing. I have 3 screens here, but, and I just got a warning. Immediately I got a warning from Twitch about being banned. Yeah, and even though, and they wrote in the email that that it was unintentional and so on, but still, I need to be careful with this kind of thing. So in terms of jokes, that color joke wasn't that bad. The other joke was not a good one. That's a bad joke actually. I did ban him, of course, and so, but the damage was already done. And I think it's so low. This could be a nice place. Twitch could be a nice place for people to hang out, or it could be a shitty place. And I prefer it to be a nice place. So yeah, it is what it is, right, folks? Yeah, that's a joke. Yeah. But the thing is, like, guys like that, they probably need to they're just trolls. They need to boost their own ego by fucking things up for other folks. But it's probably the closest to a naked woman he can ever get by sharing, looking at these kind of images. And I kind of feel sorry for the fella. But I try to be as welcoming as possible. But idiots don't have to buy them. Anyway, in a way, this create action looks a bit too much. So this is definitely up for refactoring, in my opinion. But it's a little cleaner than having 2 functions that basically did the same thing. Just a while back I had massive code repetition. Now we don't have that much code repetition. Let's see if we can make a commit and then focus on those red stuff. Yeah, keep your code dry. Dry is an acronym for don't repeat yourself, and the opposite of dry code is wet code, of course. And wet is an acronym for write everything twice. That's what I learned in school. Dry versus wet. Right, so let's see, refactors, create method. Right, what else did we do here? To be honest, not much. Yeah, okay, changes UI element, form element. Okay, form element to more direct, or more to better to ask for. Yeah, ask for email in both EN and SV, or is it SE? SE, okay. SE. What else do they do? Not use against the net office. Yeah. Changes. Adapts. Test file. Adapts. Is it adapts? Anyway, fuck it. Who gives a shit, right? Right. just gonna push this to, we can push this to 0. Right. And now we can focus on those red stuff. What the F is going on with the red stuff? Oh my. Let's rerun this once and see. Right. Warning. Expected on-click listener to be a function. Instead got false. What? If you pass a condition limit, you need condition and value. Really? Right. Well, this is a really weird error message or a warning. Condition value. Where could that be? Windows, status. Invalid DOM property tab index. Well, this one I should be able to find. Let's start with the lowest hanging fruit here. Okay. So it should be a camel case then. Still on click listener. Of type boolean. Supply to link. Expected function on click boolean. Right, so how am I supposed to find these things? I mean, let's see, where do we do link? Okay, no, maybe link. Fantastic offer, link to rent out button. On click consent. Okay, so all right. So this is the thing. He doesn't want that to happen. So what if I just do a function on that? I could do that, I guess. Or I could have a. Would that silent that warning? Right, so do I need to check for all on clicks here now? You fucking. What was that? So there's like 1, 2 on click warnings each child. So I can rent method rent out form. There's no key elements in that one. Okay, that is fixable. That is fairly quickly fixable. False, non-boolean loading. Value to string loading. Right, okay. Let's find all the on clicks, which is like could be looking for a needle in the haystack. Right, so that's the one. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Oh, okay. All right, so this should be right. I don't know if this will actually fix this. So we have an on-click slide handler. It's a little too much thing here actually. Stop, yeah. On-click, oh wow. What the fuck is this? On-click. What the fuck is this? Oh. What the fuck is on-click? custom button. Wow. Yeah, I know. And I'm so grateful that I have this extension showing who wrote this, so you guys don't think that I did. The fuck. Right. And we have an unused thing. Increase with the height and focus. Right. Loading. Right. Custom class name, custom button. That is the way. Right. Yay. Gonna need more coffee. Yeah, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't drop a comment because I teach them never to comment the code, because the code should be written in a way that it's kind of self-explanatory, you know. But that's like on click. What the fuck? He's gonna get so much shit for this code. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna find where this custom button is being called from. But let's see. Let's see if we at least lower the amount of warnings. Yeah, there are not that many anymore. That's good. Let's return to this. Right. To the fuck is this? The fuck is this? Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh. What the fuck is this? Man. Oh man. Who let this slide through code review? This is like vanilla JavaScript. We should use refs here and not that. Right. Okay. Create form data. Right. So this is like an inconsistency in the code, because here they are like adding this on-click event and creating this inquiry here, whereas in the other form they are using an actual form and on submit. So that's a bit weird. And also this return statement is really big. Pretty much. Usually people go like all silent. I don't know. Or the best, you know, I didn't write it. Usually it's the guy that is not in the meeting that wrote it. They claim. But then we do git blame, and then, well, never mind. It's not the end of the world, right? This is a great guy. Lucas is a fantastic guy, you know. And so the thing is that this code was written as part of the final project of a coding bootcamp. A lot of this code was written in the last 2 weeks of a bootcamp, and I know that these guys were really stressed, and they worked like, you know, 13-14 hour days to meet the deadline, and they cut a few corners. I can see that, and I can appreciate that. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But since the idea is now that we want to transform this into a real project. So, you know, either we do a total rewrite or we do a little bit of refactorings and make sure that things are up to standard. Let's focus on this key prop. Where do I iterate? Right. So I just form called text field. Right. So we can do index here, and can I just do a key? Right. Sorry. Perhaps. No. Okay. Right, so that's okay. Return false for non-boolean attribute loading. For a non-boolean loading, if you want to loading, if you want to write it as a loading false, or but where is that? Where is loading? Do we know anything like that here? Do we have any stack trace? Okay, let's see, where is the loading found? Loading, oh shit. Yeah. Right, that's not it. It's a loading screen. Right, suspense fallback, loading screen. So if everything is wrapped in suspense here, I probably don't need those fragments. Right, loading, rental, loading set use state false. Right. Loading is, there it is, must be that. Or could that be it? Where are we? We're in the rent out form, right? Right, so I'm just gonna rename this into form elements. Right. It's gonna be better. 2 results down. What line? I missed something. Loading was false. I missed your comment, Arun. Where would that be? Loading, there it is. Loading, custom button, segment false. Custom, yeah. But is that the one that we are setting? Let's see. I need to find some. Passage string. the DOM. If you want to write it to the DOM, but do I want to write it to the DOM? Pass a string. False. So let me like this, or shit. Fuck. Right. Yeah, it's like all right, let's see. I really can't I can't wrap my head around this. What is he? Set loading, right, but yeah, let's see if we just say set loading, rent out for loading. So this one is using a boolean apparently, right? And we are, so they're passing things too much, or they're passing things around a little too much in my opinion. Set loading. Inquiries create set load. Loading. But that's just should set true or false. Right. Shit. What time is it? It's 8:32. Okay, so I have a lot of. So that's and the data CI prop. Okay, let's focus on this one then for a second. Data CY. I don't know if you intend. Right. So they're passing this. If you intentionally want to appear in the DOM, but I don't want to. It's a custom attribute. What the fuck? Alright, let's quit this here, but this is also going to return a massive amount of. Oh god. IT. And why would they? Right. Shit. This is so boring to look through some code for. Can we just is there like there's no output here, like there's no, I need to see some. What if I stop the, what was it, yarn start, right, if I do yarn start, will I get some better output in the console? Perhaps I will. Who knows? Where am I? Right, let's just go to localhost 3001. see if I get some better stuff. Well, that was weird. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I get those warnings here? Yeah. Oh God. So I can stick my head in the sand and just pretend that everything is all good and nice and dandy. Oh fuck. I hate when this kind of shit happens. Chat, any suggestions? Should I stick my head in the sand and just pretend that all's good? Or should I bother? Help me. Perhaps. Oh, okay. You know, this could be a blessing, actually. Let's. Yeah. Here it is. This is good, actually, because now I know that. The problem originates from that view. This is actually really good. Yes. Okay. All right. So we are definitely in this place. Right. So we get event reset redirect true event dot key event. Right. So we can form data. That should. No. Oh, okay. I can't do that. No. I need to keep it this way because form data is being set by this, right? So I can't modify it directly. Okay, cool. Let's see. Key in this form elements. That is misspelled. Thank you very much for that, Thomas. You are an idiot. But okay. Loading. Right. This is probably it. Non-Boolean attribute segment. Non-Boolean attribute segment. Why would this be a non-Boolean attribute? What is submit? Because I'm lazy. That's why no TypeScript. And also, no, it's not me. Well, I am lazy. I don't mind you asking at all. I'm lazy. Never learned TypeScript. And my students. So again, this was a project written at the end of the bootcamp, and they didn't learn TypeScript either because they were busy learning vanilla JavaScript and React, with plain JavaScript, and there wasn't enough time to introduce them to TypeScript. And but your observation is correct, because with TypeScript I wouldn't be looking for a needle in a haystack. This is a very good use case for stronger typing, because this would just render an error and I would be able to find this much quicker. So that is definitely a good comment. We're just going to set the debugger here for now, and we're going to do minus here. We go to console, clean this up, and we just set what is submit. Nothing. There's no such thing yet. Kepsi mentor me. Thank you for the follow. Of course, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Very nice to have you with us. You're gonna have to elaborate on mentor me comment. Yeah. Right. So let's just get. So we're just gonna go to the random method. So what the fuck is submit? So it's the fact. No, sorry. Let's get rid of this submit. Let's just get rid of it. Okay. Okay, so we just killed at least one warning just by removing some code. That's beautiful. Let's run. Let's stop this and let's run Cypress. So in terms of TypeScript, I really been putting it off for a long time. Next month. Didn't get into that. And when somebody asked me, I was like, yeah, I don't need strong typing because I always keep track of all my attributes and who gives a shit, right? But I think we should get into that. Right, so data CY, like data dash CY, is used by Cypress to identify elements, and it's a longer discussion than a brief one today, whether you should or should not use it. It's like preferred best practice by the people behind Cypress, so we use it. But in this particular case, so what they do, what the students have done, what the coders have done, is that they pass this attribute down to another component as a property before they actually set it, and so they pass it as an attribute of that, to that component, and then they use camel case for that. I'm not really on board with that solution at all, to be honest, but that's what they used, and so that is the explanation. So data-cy is used by Cypress to identify. You could use IDs, or you can use content or and so on, but there's a whole section on Cypress documentation about data-cy and best practices regarding to that. But the problem here is how they use it. It's a bit overcomplicating thing. Typecasting takes a while. It's not necessary for every project, but in a particular case, yeah, it would be amazing, of course. Also, TypeScript features autocomplete. It's low-key what makes it worth, in your opinion. I totally agree. I have no excuse. It's just, you know. But then again, well, I do have an excuse. I'm an old guy, and you can't sit old dog. You can't teach old dogs to sit, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Yes. I will take that not into consideration. I will just do it. There is. I'm gonna do Yoda on this one. You either do or do not. There is no trying. I will do that. You're totally right. And I do trust you. And I know it's not that hard. It's just a little more code that you need to do. So definitely gonna pick that one up. By the way, let's do some small talk. I was invited to a beta program to GitHub Copilot yesterday, and I was able to install it. And it's I won't be demoing this today, but I just want to tell you about this stuff. It's a pair programming partner powered by AI, and it sounds like you know, everybody's throwing AI around and saying that they power this shit, but it does work actually, and it learns and picks up stuff. So yesterday I was doing like I gave a method and a name, like a function saying fetch users, right? And it was immediately giving me a suggestion to use the fetch API. I didn't use that, so instead I installed Axios and imported Axios. And the next time I asked the Copilot for a suggestion, he actually used, or she actually used, let's say she actually used Axios for that. So that was it was like, you know, IntelliSense or Emmet or whatever on steroids. It was really cool, and it worked fairly okay in vanilla JavaScript. I think you can, yeah, you can do. Let's take that FizzBuzz for a spin. Actually, let's see. What do I have? I have another. Yeah, let's do this here. I don't always remove this. So if I just do FizzBuzz, language JavaScript. No. Open Copilot. Export default FizzBuzz. Right, there we go. Like, boom. Boom. That's it. You have everything done for you. Let's see. No, we didn't want to give me anything on this one. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Just thinking. No. There it goes. Oh shit, look at this. Why would he give me this kind of shit? That's weird. Adopt solution path. Right. So here he gives me the entire. So FizzBuzz is just a very. It's a kind of common interview challenge. So FizzBuzz is a numbers game, which you say is like. So you like. You count up from 1 upwards, but if you hit a number that is divisible by 3, you say fizz, and if you encounter a number that is divisible by 5, you say buzz. And to make things complicated, if a number is divisible by 15, then you say fizz buzz, right? So it would be 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz because it's 6, and then 7, and you know, and you carry on, right? And it's a very popular coding challenge, like AJ says. Now, So we actually use it in at Craft Academy sometimes. I think it's week 1 of the camp, and we fixed that. We coded in Ruby and in JavaScript, and we tested using RSpec for Ruby and Mocha-Chai for JavaScript. But the interesting thing here is that this guy creates an entire React component for me with the user interface and all of that stuff. But not everything is working. You see, I think it's too long or something, so it cuts the code off a little bit. But anyway, the interesting thing with this is that based on comments and also on function names and all of this kind of stuff, the GitHub Copilot gives you suggestions on what code to write, and it's up to you to accept those suggestions or not. So I just wanted to mention that. I think it's cool, and I took it for some coding exercises yesterday evening and in the morning, and it works remarkably well, I would say. So it's a tool like many others, and I will use it. Of course, there are security concerns because it does analyze your code, sends it up to Microsoft, and Microsoft is the devil reincarnated. Is it? I don't know, but they collect everything they can collect. It's an in-editor Stack Overflow, yeah, in a way. But I think that once they have passed the initial stage, they will allow you to kind of turn this feature off. So yesterday I was talking to a few other fellas, and one concern is like, what if you have a very proprietary algorithm or some very unique stuff that you want to protect, and so you don't want to allow the companion to enter your code, because it might pose a security issue. You don't want to give away all your stuff. So you should probably be able to turn this off, as we can turn off ESLint, for instance, or whatever on a file basis. But again, I just started to use it yesterday, so I don't know. And I totally agree. But the thing is that you get suggestions, and you choose whether you want to use them or not. And so another discussion we had yesterday is that, would this replace programmers? And I said definitely no, because this is a tool that is not suitable for people that do not know how to code. We're not talking about just generically creating modules or things like that, or code that you blindly use. You are the one in charge. You make the decisions. So the Copilot can give you suggestions, but if you choose them unwisely, then you're fucked anyway, right? So yeah, but it's an interesting development. The future is here in a way. Anyway, let's just finish this off. Where are we? We're still on this nonsense. Right, where are we? There are some. I mean, there are so many people that are claiming that a lot of stuff, that programmers will be obsolete in a while, but it's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Yes. Well, there's an idea of destructive innovation. I think it's called destructive innovation. Like, I read this article, and this guy was making a point, like in the 20s, in 1920s, pianos were a big thing among people living in the cities, upper middle class or upper class. and then the radio came about. You know, like back in the days, people gathered together around the piano, and somebody in the family would play the piano, and you know that was a big thing for people. And then the radio came about, and the piano sales just dropped heavily, um, and um, and then TV came around, and the radio sales dropped, and then somebody came up with this idea to put radio in every car, and so they created radios that could be mounted inside of a car, and the radio uh, and everything related to radio picked up again. You understand? Like, and then we had TV for a while, for a long while, and then you had the VHS cassettes and the video stuff, right? And then that led to fewer people watching movies on TV, and ad sales dropped, and uh, and things like that. So every type of innovation. Then you had CDs, then you had DVDs and Blu-ray, and now you have streaming services. And I think the streaming services basically killed blockbuster video, right? Those video rentals stuff. So quite often there's so much innovation that it's not only innovating for them, that making an impact um, um, directly, but also indirectly. And nobody buys pianos. I don't know, like in Sweden, when you can't really sell a piano anymore. If you want to sell it on the second hand, you have to give it away because it's so fucking heavy. So people would never pay anything for it, because they can pick up one for free should they want to have one. And then the piano has kind of changed totally in character. Now really just people who are into music buy them, and not you don't have a piano in every home, of course. That's the thing of the past. But so this disruptive or destructive innovation is a thing. And so could this be disruptive enough to change things? I don't think so, because again, the solutions like the GitHub Copilot, they do require you to actually understand what suggestions you're given. There is this type of programmers of often beginners that are copy and pasting code from Stack Overflow, hoping for the best. It's always been a nonsense way to approach development, and if you just blindly accept everything that the Copilot gives you, then you will be fucked anyway. So this is not one of those things, right? Byte of code. Thank you very much for the raid. I don't know if we've met, but I'm very grateful. Did you have a good stream today? And what did you work on? Just to bring you up to speed, what we're doing apart from just chit-chatting about disruptive or destructive innovations and GitHub Copilot, we are working on refactoring a small a feature in a React application. You got stuck and lost at the end. What was the problem? What did you work on? Hello PG, nice to have you here. Working on caching for my Golang server. Have a Google. Oh, all right, Golang. Not my cup of tea yet, but it's like TypeScript. It's on my to-do list. Although TypeScript is a bit higher than Golang. But thank you for the follow, PG, and thank you for the follow, Byte of Code, and again, thank you for the raid. Rune Sphinx, it is 1 a.m., which means that you are probably somewhere in the US. Very nice to have you around today. Don't be a stranger, come back. And just now that I have so many people around, I just want to make a push for a charity that I am involved in, that is called agileventures.org. which is a charity. Well, it's like an online organization for coders, and we do a lot of things together. So check out agileventures.org. At the moment, we're doing a kind of interesting thing. We are doing a community source training program that is called Work the Web. We're going to be at it for like nine weeks moving forward, and we kind of cover web-based technologies, agile methodologies, and so on. It's all free, of course. It's just a thing for us to give back to the community a little bit, and then make technology accessible for some folks that can't afford training. They don't know if they want to commit too much into learning how to code and so on. So that's what we're doing. I'm involved in this. Right. Anyway, back to programming. Let's just see if we can fix those fucking warnings. Right. Non-Boolean attribute loading. Let's see if we can get that. Where is that loading thingy? Where is that loading? So that right, I'm gonna get rid of this. Where's the loading thing? Where's the loading thing? It is definitely a Boolean attribute here. Could set loading. Yeah. Where do we import script set loading? So we're just passing this down as a function. And this is definitely a Boolean. Form data set loading. Right, so this could be in this create thing. Let's see. Now it says I wrote this, but I was just moving code around. Let's have a look here. Set loading false, set loading. So is this the yeah. Is this the thing? Is this the problem? Let's run this. Yeah. So what is set loading? But this already. Now this warning already appeared before I hit that debugger, so that couldn't be it. But I'm just curious what set loading is a function, right? Okay. So that's not that, because it wouldn't have appeared before I did anything here. Right. So loading forms. I don't know what to data key. Right. Must be this then. It must be this. This must be that. Let's just for the sake of it, let's just remove that for a sec and see if we still get that. Right. Right. Custom button, but I don't even know what that is supposed to do. I don't think we need it for anything. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get rid of it, you know, because it doesn't. I mean, the tests are still passing without that thing, and if I need it for anything, I will reinstate it later. Right, and now we have this data CY prop that we don't need for anything probably. So let's just take a look at that. Data CY submit button. Why would this be said twice? We don't need that for anything. That's just like, this is fucking cargo cult programming. I don't know if you guys have heard about cargo cult, but it's like people are just adding code without knowing what it does and not paying attention to stuff. Right, and now we can't perform the React state update. That's okay. Yeah. It's a redundant thing, you know. Don't worry about it. It's just them being tired when they coded this. Probably, I won't hold it against them. Let's just pretend that we never saw that. Right. So the only thing we have now is that we can't. Loading is assigned a value but never used. Yeah. Right. I don't even know what the set loading is used for, to be honest. Apparently nothing, because you see the problem is that if the tests are passing, then it's not used, I guess. So we get another error now. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Hey, Gigi. Är det dags att gå upp? Har mamma gjort något kaffe?
Hon kom precis ner.
Hej Jessica! Är du redo? Ja. Sätter du på mer kaffe eller? Ja, good. All right, family is waking up. So this is a bigger problem than expected. I don't know. Loading. I don't know. See, I don't understand what that is being used for, so we're gonna have to check with the guys, probably. But let's. It could be start issue. Yeah. But the problem is though that in this create action, we are mixing things a little bit. We're mixing a bit because we are passing this set loading function down to this module and dealing with it down, and I don't know if that should be the case or not. And also, what is set redirect true used for? No. Yeah, I know it's on submit, but you know, I was like thinking we could remove the whole damn thing, but I don't know. That's Gabs. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. The question about any other languages, answer is yes. I speak, apparently, English, but I do speak Swedish, and I also speak Polish. At least, the Polish thing is, yeah, I do speak Polish because I was born in Poland, but I've lived in Sweden for 38 years, so I'm more Swedish than Polish now. And also, if you give me enough vodka, I can speak Russian, but I need to be heavily intoxicated. And speak is also a matter of interpretation, because I don't really speak that by then. I love to sing Russian songs when I'm drunk, but it has to be vodka, straight up, ice cold. Right. We do have these two warnings: can't perform React state update, indicates a memory leak. It reflects cancel all subscriptions and asynchronous tasks in the use effect cleanup function. All right, I do. So I need to see what Google tells me about that particular thing. It's like rent out form, right? Right, two things, right. Cancel all subscriptions. What do you mean cancel? What do you think? Right, so on the return, we want to get, right. Yeah. Right. But the question here is, come on. There we go. Right. So here we basically want to say a return statement here, right? But what should I do here? Let's ask Copilot, right? Set loading false. But I'm not even using anything from use state. I use should I just do because we're passing in set loading? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Could that be it? State after an amount of components. But are we updating form data? Is that what we're doing? But let's have a look. Let's have a look in this. But so we're dispatching. That's okay. But this is what he's complaining about. I guess this is it. So what if we just comment this guy up? What if we don't care about this set loading? right? Testimonials. Testimonials. This originates from those landing pages, and let's have a look at landing testimonials section. Yeah, it has to be that, right? So we should say return, and we should say stop timer. Can we just call stop timer? Well, that's why you code on Twitch or in pair program with people, because then you can leverage on their experience. It could be that. Let's see if that is it. I'm gonna leave a few commented out lines. Yeah, we practice pair programming a lot. It's quite defined. It's defined in this idea of there is this framework-ish kind of thing called XP, it's an acronym for extreme programming. It's all about pair programming, automated tests, red-green, or the test-driven development, red-green refactor stages, and so on, right? So pair programming is nice when you have a driver and a navigator. They're both focused and they switch around a little bit and so on. Look, fellas, we don't have any red stuff anymore. You see that? All the red stuff is gone. It's a little bit of woo. The problem is that if we run the whole thing, we're probably gonna get a few errors now, because we just turned off. I was running one single test in isolation, and let's see if we get some other errors now and things failing for us if we run the entire test suite. But Thomas, be smart about it. You just user can submit office. Right, we need to remove this only thing. Right, let's run this, and now we're getting, oh my god, back in the red. Okay, so a component is changing an uncontrolled input. That's not a biggie. We can fix that probably. That's just a form element that is being pre-filled with some data, and then we have some other warnings. Now we have some errors here. Right. So it looks like we have at least one failing test and more warnings, but that's refactoring, and we're gonna address that in another session, I guess. can't fix everything in one run. Why is it so slow? Why is the test suite running so extremely extremely slow? And why is there no one that I follow online on Twitch? Right. We need to go. So yeah, Cypress Professor. Let's talk about that. What's the question? What do you think? Jest. I use Jest mostly for component testing, which I don't do. We don't do in this particular project. But Cypress is great, in my opinion, for the ease of use, fairly nice syntax, and also the visual feedback, right? That when I build front-end apps, and trust me, I'm not a good CSS kind of guy, but I still like to see the things being outputted. And on continuous integration, I can do it in headless mode, right? So I don't have to spin up a browser, but it helps me a lot. I am a great fan of Cypress, actually. So, do you have any experience with Cypress from before? Okay. I am well, replacing it. I wouldn't say it's replacing. Some people might say that. I would be careful with expressing that in this particular way. It's I think Jest was never well suited for end-to-end testing, and Cypress is not well suited for anything but end-to-end testing, in my opinion. I know that the Cypress people are moving into component testing and things like that. I think it's a mistake personally, because I think Jest brings a lot of good things to the table. For instance, if you think about component testing, and this is a longer discussion in itself, but if you look at spies and then mocking out functions or stubbing out functions and also spying on them, Jest is quite powerful in that regard, whereas Cypress is leveraging or using sign-on.js, which is also a great library, but not as powerful, and doesn't come with as many features as Jest does. So Jest is really good. I think that you should kind of stick to the thing that you're good at, and I think Cypress brought a lot to the table in terms of acceptance tests or end-to-end tests, or however you want to call the visual stuff, testing the front end, the user interfaces, and it truly revolutionized that part. Before that, we were using Jasmine, Karma, even Mocha Chai if you twist it a little bit, but Cypress was like really fantastic in this regard. I remember just a few years ago I was struggling with building tests using Puppeteer, for instance, which is also a great tool. It's like a totally headless Chrome browser or Chromium browser that you can basically do whatever you want, intercepting all calls and tweaking everything that is possible to tweak in terms of a browser. But then Cypress came around and it was so easy. It's really soft to use it, and Jest is great also. And the React testing library, for instance, I do a lot of React stuff, right? So it's much better than Enzyme was, for instance. It's also an assertion library. So I would definitely go into Cypress for testing user interfaces, but I would still learn Jest for component testing. I would say. Right. I don't know if that kind of answers your question or not. We need to go. Sounds like a great guy. So let's just do git status on this one. Did a lot of it, so let's just do git. Well, we can check it here. Right. So we just do refactors code due to browser warnings. But we're gonna say that this is a work in progress, actually, so people don't think that I'm done. Right, can we stage everything? Yeah. No, we don't want to stash. Come on, give me a break. Do I have to do this manually now? Yeah, probably. Right. There we go. We're gonna push this. Push to this guy. He created a PR. I'm gonna follow this guy. There we go. And fellas, I thank you so much for today's session. I will go on and raid you over to We Need to Go. Thank you for the suggestion. I hope to see you guys again soon, and thank you everyone for the raids. I'm humbled. And UT, if you are interested, I will be online at 5:30 this afternoon UTC, 5:30 UTC, with the Agile Ventures Work the Web training program. I'll co-study session with these guys. But for now, let's have a great day, everyone, and basically take care. Hope you have some good coding coming your way. See you later. Cheers.